then went to Zambia to seek a training where he has been taught in traditional Subiya storytelling as well. Since 2004, Mr. Mwinga till presently is still the praise poet or the praise singer for Chief Liswane III for the maSubiya tribe. So you may have witnessed at all those events where the chief is, his brilliance as well. So tonight, you as the audience is here and also at home can look forward to a wonderful evening of praise poetry that echoes the value systems and the customs of the maSubiya and Silozi people. So without any further ado, I will welcome on stage Mr. Francis Mwinga to take us all through the night, and I'll be back afterwards where we will engage a little bit. So thank you and enjoy.
Kwasi hanjembe Francis Mwinga yozo kwa Zambezi region mwa Namibia munu musebezi wakuloka kapa wakubanda unipanganga kuchizo chetu kuna kunkuta mini batangise munese na bamba kono nise ndikutanga kutanguta matangu wangu pili minimwa rizikize akakatiti kasumpwa impeta kakulise ng'ombe. Iyi nchinza itusebesa kuchizo chetu ikandese mitangutira hano mu Subiya etangu lya untuhu ni chihungu kale uko kubena chihungu n'untuhu zinyoro nisi wamba hamwina michihungu abali mulikana untuhu baba kulya hamwina bakikala hamwina bakuwima hamwina babekale ziri mu bulyoni bena hamwina kono chimu shiri monanga kwa benzala linanga kirasika chihungwa enda kutaka akawane chakulya yali wanafazi ntu zinini tubeba bulyoni zimu bulyo tuzoka tubuluza na tunini tuna beze baleta balya chwe linanga lyasika chihungu kasi waliza kulya chihungu chobula mwasalilelele kono balira chirira hamwe ni mwakwe chwe untu unabirira mwe yondaba chwe untu chikuwana kuti uzu chihungu kakwira zaleta hano kuti tuli hamwina chwe ime hano ni mulele mazu wobere kuna zaleta yesu robutatu hamwe kamana mane viki kandi tukawahane fera z'umutu chole hapi kina mwambe utu tukawahane mundi fora chonongona kuti ina kulya ni munipange buti kanti mena ba untuhu munile tenkali munile tenda ba imwi kuti ya wana kuti ufiereha ya hanu ese tukawanera haho chiko untuhu chikuambira chihungu iwe chihungu wizi kuti imene kuhita kutia chihungu chiwamba kuti hawa umulikana ngamba wamba fazi ingizi into sinu kutia imbendi uluka mwiulu yutia hansi chole moni siye kuti ali mena netia hansi yoni uluka kwiulu nikusia ni abenkani yo muntu ni mulikana kwe mane meso tele nibakanana musi ali onse chole chihungu chamba utakanti lyo he tutie mo wambira kuti wala konisia tutie chole mwingangisa no kubangane bantu balolelanga hana kuti no zintu zienda hande chole untu uchikwamba kuti no munisake balikane bangu munisake balwa abo bere kuti babe banolele kwa teni babone kuti kiweka unichengereri naye chungu chamba kuti munisake ikubi makubi obere kutanilolelele Niki basumpa abantu makubi bobere nasumpwa manene baluwawa kibasumpwa bobere kibamba baluwawa tutia hanu izona mututiye chole tusaka kuti zumuluwawa ashale kunu kututangira zumuluwawa akasika kuna kutukaya zumu ikubiri muri shale hanu limuri kubiri lienda kuna kwizi bala bulimbwe kutuka winina kapa kutuka manisa mtu inkangisa no yetu niba luwawa ni kubi ni balitangeza rozuba kwasika wateno kwa bulimbuko niko alindira kuti no kibatanga kuna bakaone kuti wawe nanjeni chwele hanu kakusana kibasika abo bakezi basika muntu muri kanakwe luwawa kwena ikubi kulina bali no hanu chwele mutiya mwenda kwa bulimbwe chwele hamwenda kwa bulimbwe so tumitomisa hanu amulenda hanu mutiya hanu ni untu huli hanu nibata kuti pawo mulike bazi mana lantu batomene bonse mulitukiseze mutiye untu ucho tangu tiyali hanu untu kabutia kero untu uzimba lakoli munguli kwenda chamwela munguli kwenda chamwe munguli kwenda chamwela munguli kwenda chamwe kwenda chamwela munguli kwenda chamwe munguli kwenda chamwela munguli ukabuti untu wao kwenda chamwela munguli kwenda cham chale hanu chungu naye uleta uzimbo lakwe naye uluka naye utangasa kutia kanini ulukafa kanini untu huwa hao bakusora kuti batie kandana la matangiro bakenje muzuka bakasike limu kandana la buberi bakaende muzuka bakasike kwikanda butatu bakasike muzuka ndende ikanda la bune nje bakawinisa untu cha kuitali hanu chabika kasanzu mane sikubona kuti kuboneka kasuka kazana mwisoro yakwe cyo cyungu naye uzimana ruzimbura kwe ko kubulimbwe ko kubulimbwe ko kubulimbwe ko kubulimbwe kutukanywa mezi kubulimbwe ko kubulimbwe kutukanywa mezi kubulimbwe ko kubulimbwe zibazimba abantu bobere abo umuntu utakuti imenje munguli walira nyama imbera onachirikanga imeheba nilibite nangachumbu nikenje mwateni echirikanga mune chisindi mwakono chihumbu fulani hita mwateni chwele tuendoko chwele na da chihungu utakuti untu koko kutukaya kwa bulibwe yesa kasike wa matangiro yesa kanywe menzi wa matangiro chibatia chwele habona kuti no untu hucho chosaka mana muzuko wa number 1 una matangiro chungu ya chabo mabando kwisuri kuli chu untu wese kawira hansi chizi china akalola sibungu mwalumuko uzo chuhungu mwalumuko uzura ko kabwena mazibisa mubuti mene kazokuna hapa zuna chaita mwiru hape choka uruka kanini untu akabona kuti nyichuhungu zo mantiza chachi chamutiro wakweli ancho mwizi kuti untu hati yana bacho tiahulu wikawiki suna wikeli akasiti chokwete munguli kwenda chamwaila munguli kwenda chamwaila munguli kwenda chamwaila munguli kwenda chamwaila kwenda chamwaila munguli kwenda chamwaila kwenda chamwaila chacho tiali hanu tukumula fa ikere njo buti fela buti chungu chama buti kaunizime sunu muntu kumane mahanyi untu webo kutuguzana name chwale dia hanu chokenjira mane muchakenjira mwikanda muna kutakazuya kainje muzuko muna chungu da kanizani ni bantu bena buti chungu nacho chozimba naye ko kubulimbwe ko kubulimbwe kutukanywa mezi kubulimbwe ko kubulimbwe kutukanywa mezi kubulimbwe ko chabo da bantu ko hazwa chuhungu abazuluki fama no kasika mane ko bulimbwe abakasiki musi hali buti akatika mutu untu usikezi to ko kabuzimba nayo kwa tema ni chaka taka sisi biajo munguli kwenda chamwe munguli kwenda chamwe munguli kwenda chamwe la munguli kwenda chamwe kwenda chamwe chaka talontu ekulola esifulo mana bati ulontu kutia ulontu mani haka sika chichi chiri buti chiri kachita chiri kachola buti izuba kachola chiri kalama makoba njagasika bulimbwe haka popo kafela siku na mwizi wala bulimbwe kwinaka kanda kakaya hateneziba unti tu usibwe ibata kutenjirwa wala usibwe haka bona buli kuti chabasi kabantu bakatere ukatera untu jweru wawa chatanga kuseka untu jwele chavenga nikukata nikusiwa munkangisano nikusekiwa kwa tumuseka luwawa haba hiti family kana kutaka mukwata jwele naye chungu chukwana kuti uzu muntu kasizi munkozo beta ni kandibu toka nitie jwele aulu kafela mukwata kuno matende kuno mukwata kuno muhorofa kuno matende kuno aulukana njikono kana abauluki kuzo haho chilikani chabwaji bamanini aho untu chikuwana kuti kanzi wali kuyenda musiyale uli nalete Subi na wanisia chole kandi bono wenda masiku zinyoro zizimwizi na azilele menye ni yende chingu mbona untu kaide musiyali chimu wana luwa wanae muntu osakala kuseka nanga bazo ho luwa wanae basekelele katwizika ba mukuti untu ukatwizi ndeni chiwangwa etangu enjeji bantu bala kwikala bali kani chilikani cha muntu chitingite chilikani cha bantu baba kuti babobere chitingite bana bantu baba kuti balisepa bali wambira bazumbu kwina mazuire kutakazuye handi ko zumuntu amwambire niti kuti hanu imeka nsibone hande hanu ni chitebuti undi chitebuti hanu ni birera sanza alibike munkulo sanza pangitu mashendekera kakulizina zintu kumama nsuzo makahane mbakandi bantu ni chihungu kubali kutuka kuti bali butwa kuti untu ambe fa chihungu kuti chihungu imene kwene kuti hanu buhalo chwapala kazi wali kulero mkwame osikaho kuti ndakona imene nini kuhaira zintu yoka wani kandi tukawane neza kwa kati ya kuli haza kuti amusali wonse kapagenda bavi kwa teni chole chilikani tingite ka bantu bana bakuti basepana bali chitendi tiba bali wambira buniti bonse bana bobere nasema mwende hali bandeka etangu lyangu aho Kida Francis Mwinga nikamikandekela litangu ni tangu tafa kila batu banibazi mwahae ni mushemu wabona batu bo nibayahira hande mwahaya bona mo ni mushemu wabona ni bashima ni babala alo nikezera bona kubya bashima bona babiri hanze banzi cyo cyo mutomo mu bashimba bona bali baye mu mushituba bahate hate basika kuta bali kalibera banana bali kalibera michaha bababoni kwana kuli sabaina jode yo mukezera bona ali mwenduliye ko batu bo muri wene kwata bali bati ruine ni bashimba bona musu litobozi bona ruine no lubatu bona kuina fa bona ula bona serubo baholo batu sabaina chorofo kanti batu bashimba bona anaba senze sikuli bashimba bona basika bafumane ha ndikuna singolongoma senze bamizize hana baile mu mushitumo choze ngongoma sonse sina seli batu babiri ba kuliko mama feria batona batu bana bazoka kaiba zikakupola kuli no sikaya kai ndo zikabata chwana sila kanti ona fane nzo baswali batu bali pini yolo ndafate muta singongoma zikiso sata kutoronta keso swala muta chwe kiso sanga mata muta na kwe sima sopero Lyakasa mazilo nanga mbele bine lyakasa mazilo nanga muntu mine lyakasa mazilo nanga muntu mine lyakasa mazilo nanga mbele mine lyakasa mazilo fosi kishi sibule yakuli nakina mutu yaza mama nzira kaofera kona kuseni fuma mwanzila mwali kafa na miza kapaki mutu kapaki komo kapaki sikama ina miza chwale batu bashimani bane bayangu mushitu kusiyanga kezela bona alino osi baya kuzuma bashimani bao kuna ni wasahasa mironga kuna ni luko nkaluna kabantu kuna ninje minimu kumongo kezela bona kika hundu kaundu atereza ho tufe izibo yakaza mazilo ndangambele mine yakaza mazilo ndangangombe mine yakaza mazilo ndangamuntu mine yakaza mazilo sali kuteza likoteza mazilo bya sali ntweta ko ikani fulaya kanti mwendani ka opera kapina ka kauli sapiri ndabaza kuti usabiza fali bizura mutu niwe kona inzi ko watu lapiro kaya lazima uli kwa haye ko nesezara sasa sanga kachika ka haye pito saka bya fali ona kwe twilandume tatengi na twilandume ona twilandume twilandume tatengi na twilandume wasaya milonga na twilandume ona twilandume asa milonga na twilandume konkalunuka bantu na twilandume lukonkalunuka bantu na twilandume injimini mukumongo na twilandume musiza nafu ubule yakuli hani sitachwana ni upuzi likezeza akali ndwalume luli zitoni tusa matabamo nisitira kezeraka wasahasa mironga ataye kapire eba kulipiro akiretura angufere kwanu sikutani kutata nisitira kezeraka lukonga lunoka abantu hebe kokona ataye kapilipili nibisitira kezeraka njimini mukumongo kena ne ngomba yo njimini mukumongo kutonsiba kayo sikize sipembera mwa hayi sono pembera mwa hayi sazama ogoza maziro kutoka potura kasiza nafoko nakasoko no sita ngekabula siandume tatengi na twilandume ona twilandume etwilandume tatengi na astofuta fuku mata kutofuta ngifita wena gona lino sena mahayemo kana kina lino sena mahayemo okay na chana mae wena nikakucha kamso anikata heba nikafumana anakufumana na kucha kesinga kuchanda makuchanda maana bapaike fa fulani bajire bazungu kucha badef kilisifeza musizana mwina ngai mutabani kwale kumusema shete chuaka kutoka ngo pwa kesi kutakwena kasizana na manita kule kila na mali utu musehani to ni sabule kisaisi ile chuka waka sile haba otalikeleza haya manzi bwana haba sutira famuzi bwana na maru ne ale ne rupaikia maba ni izigai tofita kutubuza kezera bwana hamo tele mafasi basi nesinzi fatinifa haye ka chero ne sabona ali kuliki haye ne utiesi bizimitamo ndisi maswe fa ali yo muhuri yo wasasa mironga ali kanani ani yakuya kamuso nasiliberera kona kuli bale habusa bapakira bayire okuzumba kwire ukonga lunoka abantu ninje mini muku Mungu wasasa mulongo siyezi saipata kwa tukoni sikwalo bwa pakatungu ko ipata kwa sikwalo kunina hande ni buta wa ni rumo kile uli beire kulizo sikishisa fasi chira hande nsona esinto namani kutwala kino kulo bani mayona kiso sifitire yakaza mazilo nangambele mine yakaza mazilo nanga muntu mine yakaza mazilo nanga muntu mine yakaza mazilo nangambele mine yakaza mazilo hange sasu to sinfa kaufi niko nakasiza nakeka kalamba makachika tele kungakachika twilandume tatengi na twilandume ona twilandume tatengi na twilandume asa ya milonga na twilandume ona twilandume konkalunuka batwe na twilandume ona twilandume asa ya milonga na twilandume imini muku mongo na twilandume tukanisibaka kisoni sifite sipembera fa yakaza mazilo nangambele mine yakaza mazilo nanga muntu mine yakaza keso muyemera wena kunuka untuntu kunuka untuntu ala hakuna mtu yomwe tena kinda fala nafa nesikatapa mabani kwa nuka kunuka untuntu pesa asa Afrika kunuka untuntu kina hakuna usiri kesi ya fali mitambo fale sunu kucha yale ainzi baka tumwale ke mulo nabo nanto wasasa milongo mumbona fainzi kwa kuhanga ngamba fo nibutabuwile kale mali zoho kwa fainzi Christopher banana muyena kumutabani yona kwale asifutana pwa yesikutabe tufuta Kesto musiafa lutu kila sewa sabaga mazira yakasa masioya yakasa mazira nangambele mine yakasa mazira ananga muntu mine yakasa mazira keso ferera nakonya nafa nibona bane balinze omushituke batofita yenda njibini muku mongo ni lukonga ndunga abantu ke batofita tofita na maile wasasa milongali yo into wasasa milonga mani kuyema hapa awapala ne bakuyema mama ngwele mokafa akuna moyema chono walo mokafa ngetu ngederere aw kingali sasa inzi kwanu kubutata baya kufikingi wena limina lututefa kulofa ntoyo aikata cho nebe wena kuliwibone chone ali awa mukulu ange ausikaeza hande na yakulatererana eni na lukonga abantu kina kasi alafa kama usonga tosumana nisivulaile mwelekeza onekela kala korofa la chwana wakasasa milonga abusa niyo kangalo nto njimini muku mongo ibaba ile kwa ntu mwana hene kozuma ya na mane kutoya kulubani mayona kiso spiti yapi yakasa mazira nanga ngombe mine yakasa mazira nanga mbele mine yakasa mazira toka shaka asio utakwa mwingi soba nilikota niko kasiza na fope tuke kangaka hunduke kai na tuanume tatengi na twila nume tatengi na twila nume ona twila nume asaya milonga na twila nume ona twila nume kankanuka batwe na gwila nume injimini muku mongo na twila nume tatengi na twila nume ona twila nume saya milonge na twila nume injimini muku mongo kale sinfa hae tofita fera mana kusana nebe kule kuli siyeza chwali mwe siyeza kuli zibuze kuli chwani ona kuli kichirire chwali yeneyo to nkonga nuka abantu yana azo ipata kwa shete patanina uyemezi kwa kusiyanga kwa asiya kulisiya kumushitu kumutabani asibona fera niya mwa bali kwa shete mwale mane shete yunga sikanyanga nisona kanisi kase musine sesile mandumba siswana kisile mandumba zo mushomba nise sa kuzenzi futhi kujanja kunuka ala hakuna mabana sikatapa hape mane nipale kutapa mabana sikatapa ndiye kutati afa okay muyena ngawe mutabani ona kwale asofito bwa kesikuta na manita kule hana makuta kuseve museha kise choka yakasa mazira nangambele mine yakasa mazira nangamuntu mine yakasa sazo ferera baba yokutomushitumo kutofita bali bati mwendi yalo weze musebeze haba tofita na maile ali mina asante kubula mulwa naona sala asikona halifera sale ni parezo nina fa kutalimera sizibasana atiningesho sakase shomwa sikolubire nenera mirupi nenera mirupi kona une okolubire chwala au nenera ninose mashete mwale fa kona kuli kandi falo yacho falo zama efera nyena mutu ali bashemba balondo baka nani bona kuli nana kona kusibula wena mwaka wote zakabulera kanaka unga kuli unaba alunamata alunanto alunamata kule ulubula itusale wena sala asivula yo isale ngubulelele mane kuli usiho lo faze fanya sika kuchanikeza unayo amuni fefera nako na nini muni fefera ndo sibaka nieze muni fefera kolo kwa uya nena keza mutu umusire nena kimuna nena mtu ere abo sasa kibale baire kumshitu kozuma kekasiela kona kana ali aona sababu keza sinzika ona fa stone piece to binena ngafaka ofina fasika chakale nama sele kandi semikata ale kungamikata kuvya mikata kweza ngeka katungu kale kantu kali kabezo ndo surubu asirozi petu kusiafa kampaka na mwali petu nibuta oyinzi na mwali ni kachapu kanzi kale fa noka fa farukanda kisosi vitire fu chuka jagaza mazira ananga ngombe mine jagaza mazira ananga muntu mine jagaza mazira chuka gele vitire zima smata jagaza mazira keso futamu hai asto taxi fera na fara jole kuliso stop kununga runtu kona kabana mami katamwali pato akilole nikushimbe ilicho apiru wazo sibona sio feto fa chwana manala muhalimu wala na munyama ake kamata na foto nika chapo to lema pomulala wale kezera yabona ka hundu kezera ka kutomuwera mwanda kezera ko rupise bo tatabo nibona boko bali mina kwa lelo yofuma nafa kula hakuna azifahaye maana usikula zuma zenga talo alukute kashima nikale mwende kakachiwa chene unto nikezaona zibo itanda maana mwende kuma ile nikaba tofita hawa topunyira abantu abatopunya makanto bali munzi wabona wenzi fatone ni mushitu kile batama kabala mwache batato kanduka babona fana ntuemba na mani bali kulisale kusishuyesa esimwende asifita kuchamboni sikusalo zilovezi alu yali mina nde pilo kale kuhuwa wa lusula huwa lulizifa kaloli hayo tambao tena amutae kiwalo visa mushimani yale wana wale sibulaire akiwa kwebota kezera hayo nakusokuno lolweza usibulaire seheni sibulaire cholo za farali kuno nkamba lyo laola nonkamba laole kanti ngongo kati kutu nonkamba laole kanti ngongo kati kutu alia mubize katinti katosi ndondomo nafa famba fale sakata katinti kwa kutochongo mwana famba ngekaleza ngimani manike kuto kestapo afamba bashemba bona babere kafake kebatozwa ngebapira chole likandele taso chona kuli ntoye bundume ningana kiti kaze inafera bundume bona kuina kumwana no mwinyani bundume bona kuina kuyo muhuru bundume bona kuina kumutu yana sifato sifinyani bundume bona kuina kumutu yana sifato sisinde niyo nangana inafera ikona kuina kumwana no mwinyani ikona kuina kumwana kumundu kuna ndimo mabahulia mane kufa nili mingi basinangana chole sinaruzi bane mabibere mutu yana bulale Goliath nere kashimani kanyani kada bakechebisa ga Davida chole nekale kwasi muloko likazonezeza hala banana banyali bazali kazetuna nasipa kwa mafezo alikandelaka nitumezi hapi kine nabola mwitangulia Subiya itangulia nguu ya manani nikamwale kubena munzu mubuti wantu okikira munzu muchole imwina kamwale chalitaleha sina mwizi kumazu wakale hana kutika kamwale alitaleha bakukungulwa ngo kwabika kumbali miha biko kumbali kuna uhewa mu polisa kapa uhewa kapaso yomu lola na muntu kuti sanza apangiza into zibizi bakanseka mwale kali kamwale zapiri hana kanaba kuzumino kwamba nibakwame habona bakwame kapabona abantu babona usana kulipata kana katiti kana chasanga kumwambira kana kashambye kuta ukukese bantu na mwanje ulipata chole unakamwale ulipata chole bamuhere kahwire uzo kamwale izina lakwe nje mwale ni izina chole kanche kako njikanga sinyama bamukungwira bamubikite uko bali munze bamuza kile katungu bakulana na kanche kako kanga sinyama ozo mwale chole mwale si wikiro uko chabona kuti ne akakahwira aka uwe zoso ubone kuti sanzo wambi mika ndo kwikala kuti kunwa wani mukwame hano chole nasaka kunzoka chole inzoka eyo haiza masiku pato mwali wambira kanga sinyama zuira hanzo kekala hanze esi yabole inzoka mwese zuze munzu mwese kale munzu masiku wose umo hana tubalira basitengu pato naye nyisa mwamba jese zuwe inzoka ali hano kana kaniseka chite asikenjire kakalale ndikuti ukaba bobo ulio mane pewe bakanda ngani kekeraho begeza kunyanda aho kawira kana hapa uzumukuru wangu anambia kuti kinda kaambia bakuru na mani dame kanti aha imekesini kabambire kono muni pange mulelo umwe kawiri mwina ko petu kuyenda kachabe nkuni zingi kazipata fala kuna kwa sababu mukuru ateni chitengo abeza bamuya kwatena benzo kabo peza benjia munzu bakatwala hanze kuti kagayenda hanze akoje kahinde nkuni dia hano kuza kusika kuza kuzivika mulyango hano kuza kuzivika akabona kuti hano kwinena kwina ituzwanga kuti ulira tuzundura tuzundura tulira tula akonje kabukula la ko ibimbi uli hano ikabikula idiro kuvika meka bachabite nkuni zingi chole na njivani jisupa kuti inzoka azidazi nenti azirana tuizi kale kuti izuba chinafwe kuzwa azidazi zone zina basitengu chole uambira kawire kana kuti we zima muliro nizo nichizilira bazwe chole uzimbali zimbo sinyama zima muliro busiku wanda ukabala mitengwe balalira sinyama zima muliro busiku wanda ukabala mitengwe balalira yasi nyama wala halila bala mitengwe balalira balalira bala mitengwe balalira sinyama zima muliro busiku wanda ukabala mitengwe balalira wanda ukabala mitengwe balalira chwe naye sinyama bote ni bazwire basitengo bakatukulira basiye balire kono muliro kanizimi kyaba obulyo cyo buli mani izuba kazwa chwele chilizo kuzwa izuba kono bateke tifakugo inzimbo kakawira ko zikazima mutekeze kazimbako nozo zima mukatumo inzo kuti izwire ku muliro apa nje tutungu tokumatika matikile mane sikona kumatiri kuna ndiya tuyende tukaboneka mwale wetu kuni mundi inachipangele mwale kuza kuwana nenzoka hii kinza alimande bezanga babo tinezanga ozonzoka nezanga entity ozo muya wateni kamwale zona chachi bamuha impanishe chibamuha bakamwale bakupanishwa chibamufupikira mu bwato bali kakuli weka ozui twachora milao petuli yani laho kwinda bwato na kufupika ali hano kali kamizuzunyana hana tanji bafupula ali hano chole itangu lirutwala kanini kuna mikaliro yakalena indaba zahe bakamwale kuna kuzitokomera kakuli momo na asa tokomene meraona mwalire telesubi kakuna se namusese masenyi hezina chole nyuma maso etangu langulina etumela Fani mitea nitangu la Silozi. Mitangu leo kimba tangwana tangu twanga matangu sapira nzi mali kaloze ngata huru. Ne matangu abana banyani. Kune matangu abantu abaitale hile ngire nitagutira la sinyama. Nike nimurwa na mtumwale. Kune matangu bale basabazi fa baya hawo mto. Fali puso. Chole tangule nikataguta fa liya ko batu bale basi baza kwesipata kuli bakeni babe mwali kuta niona matango na aliteni mane kuna ni matango amalena habanyala niona na matango ateni chole tangule ni kamitango tafa kila la bwatuli kwa kale ko atanguta masilozi kwa kale ko kuna ni fofo ni pia mushitu chwana hanze lipia choro chwe mutawo mumwi likwali sali kamuso nsona kupakilanie kwa mulikanaka sinamwezi bakuli likwali kimutu yaza kuli hazama kimutu yaitandira ngabe wafufa chole paka usana fale kuzizika saye zanye ndo ntundu ndwani kwale kwa busi wasumbukwa nikuna ni puti chole hazo fale na kweza wapungu chole venza kuli mwana pundu mukezi fale mwana matezi fale yena puti chole na unga kuli mwendi usabire sika pato wa mutabezo mbata mulawe wena likwali usabirengi wena pato wena usabirengi ali kiniti usuboni nina puti wala la mnyama tena kila kumata hasika matana kwete tupala ndo tuizima mamuselese tutongino ichela kutale kiputi atako wena puti kingi so sabira kwa kingi utawa tupa kwa niona tupala kona kuli yena puti salelexa nga alexa tupala para tuinzo kapili aisabo ni puti asirupirisi kitondo lamba tupala hatu yote mapili fae kili nali time tupala tu bona chola kauli mutu ya sabire wazi bala mwa matera zabuza nali mina tupala mumatanyi ali kwa komola ni nali ndio zio yafana ko ndo Subiya tupala haba matari tofana lipizi kubuza linali yela mina kona kuli seseza hala putikana samba federezo ulatezi nto tupala tulatezi nto linali nzo lakezo sabisa lipizi ndio lipizi nzo kwa pili aliye kwa kwa matari lipizi hamna kutoleza obateki hamna kutosia lipizi ali matafocho ni bwana tutwala bulati mina mumatanyi alikuwa ndio ali tutwa wote macho umule na to ni mabasa abona mina bana babona kingi muna mushito wase mwenza cyo likizeli luli kutela uli popo hakuna abule afakala bonira na nalto ya chole kwa pili kwa baya kwale kuna nili kaka ubu bamfamai hayo teza mushito sisi kiri mushito mukisika bali kuli hayo talima yo bona fa segu kweza kufanya mina mufitele kwa mfane kuna ndiba mayaka hakuna mati za mutu afa ku ya muhali mwali peto kandi fafa mayifo peto kutofita umuna muholoto to hatama yako apacha mazema utoato ukuli sona ngento alinzika banksha zimani yale kuto hatila kafa maya ulaya baba mata bayoya mana yesu kwa bala kwa kusiwanto bushitu kwa bala chobo futakwa na kwe mtu kakubuka uba mtu mweteri mina kinga musa usije chwana kisa ni matasi kamani yo kuvuze ula noluboni kuvuza tutwa noluboni to lipizinge zimata kuzivuza zili kwa mulaho kwa hapa ni wana lipizi ni wana zili tunaluboni to luboni kuvuza tutwa luboni lipizi kuvuza lipizi luboni nali nali wazili luboni tupala cho mani kufuta kuputi hakuna afande bageni masabuza chokula bati siza bamata ena mulena to nina likaka kya tofita mina bana mata mushitu mu mbulaye bana baka lulaye bana bawo ali bashuye gafela kuna mayale gafela pache chole tabayo se nyemi saroto batu bansura buza pa bani fande kandi falo lubati ya bulaye bana bawo amuna nwali mautu nanula putikira nanula hakuna makapi ama yanto alikaka kutaku yo kafula uboni nali wotupala hakuna twe bali mimi namwaka mwene mukana nanula ali neni kana nanula aba nanula mana uli mayanzi mama ngamwale mani kamangata cheta fona kwa ya kangera nakwe bali kimi na mubula ile mayanto ali nakuli famula tu esa mukali ula kwene mumatiyasi kamani kakuli nimusika matafa za mahala chiba kali fumana kai ya kali eta nina puti hazibu sana matiri nina chole fo ba abalo kandika chwalo buza kuli chole mwali kande mo kandi sifo sikimani kona kuli ngemu mwine cholo mangine mango hala kuli kabokali kuti no kiputi kabokali no kili kaka kili kwali kabokali kito chole matangu wao ne batanguta abasu mwamusuno wala bafale ufale maikutu ho yo mukabuli akuli yafo sise mwali kiputi kuli puti na sika utanto likaka into likwalinge mwa kuli kuna ni matesi si batana kono unabonifa kuli no matro hayi mwe sabilesika asika utusanza batile kono mbali ne chole tupana sikutwa mata huli ndo tutalemezi puti nga mata nesika bona bata momulaho kono kuli chole fo bakala kubona kuli yaho pola huli kimanyi chole kwa mwana balutira nga cholo kuli luzibe kwatula mima ferelezo na kwe muntu mu buleli yale nino ka bulama ikutawulya nali bona kuli mataba mo yakale kufosa kiputi kape nasika mata za sazivi yale nanzi omusipiri wae nomoko munga ntoli kwa bota nani ni omusipiri waka mi heba kuna bazo munga alikuwa na to bulabu ni nani ni omusipiri waka nali kwanza bulele puti kuti matesika chwele puti nakafumanda kulula ni mulatu so inasiba kumona balutira nga choba holo kululuzibe kwatula itumezi Kaya nikuta hape faa, nikuta nilo kwa latau. Nilata huru. Shambo kwa wala monika heza, basi manga kuli, hapa mutio kia hapa chwani. Nina ndipata kusona ngetau. Ngaulo katau, usona ngetau, niwena, wikuto kuli, niwena utau. Maloko, kabu kuswa ni maloko kintuweza kuli. Ina ni tuto zenga tau, hakulo kiwa tau, kuloko mutu. Kuna nilo kwa langwe, li yemira mulena. Nilo kwa tau, li yemira ngambela. Nilo kwa kubu, li yemira natamoyo. Tikazeo makuta kwa watu wabazi mwatiri mali kuta kafara onda kwa zambezi kuna ni mona tamoyo kuna ni mulena kuna ni ngambera chwale liloko latau kilo kole terere chwale ni kamilokera lona likasi na chwana ach katupa manambo muweli katumulema kuminwe abana katupana namba okudo baka nakale misamine muyungu niliambu bana basa nto birundu olume nilekala banjito birumula pono wangasi singaminwe amaonga ali mukanwa ukando kwa namba kufika muna ngandate umutani walongolo mwanda wandale ila wanambo lilo moya wanaye amato sisa mwani mukeke chimaina namba olukundu londe namba kashiko yambo jimaliro kubundi sikungundele siwoni malia kwa ulwako kuna muchuke bali nno namba njaka liuya nambula kalika yamwe kuchirawo kucholoka amela namba olukunda amela na mushirasi wa manalonge iwo mona endira mangu mwana kama sina ngombe naba nilwa belewe namba ukundu kama kundu bakana kale musaminwe ukando namba ukusula kufika namuna ndati apula lingine nakuvutela ubutakumbe omundu omulopona kasitambikire bamungo nende anda kwa umuntu umwange lichemeno lyande wali wana ulitauluke munya lichemeno kasakule sitambia ngula omulaka wa Musa utamba kufa mayambuta sekula sambalo kasane sunga kumuto nunasire ngondati uambere ngombe uambere nyachi munu kasamwamberi bali akanganyira mumulea mukatu mukwala katso kumuyambira mufa ku nyachi mufa kusikala mufa ku nde mufa kumabunga.
Please have another round of applause for Mr. Mwinga. I think that was absolutely brilliant, and I hope that the audiences here have enjoyed it as well. Can I just get a nod if you have enjoyed that? We could also indicate from those that are listening, that have tuned in from home, they have given a few comments. But before we get to those comments and before we continue the engagement of that, I would just like to have Mr. Mwinga then explain some of the poems. You have just ended off with a praise poem that is about the lion and in Subiya, just to give, like, for those that may not fully understand, also just an indication or synopsis of what these poems entailed.
Yes. Yeah, in short, the poem is about the lion. So the Silozi has got more praise of the lion. When I started, they started by saying that, lion, we cannot greet you by touching you in the hands. We greet you very far or afar, because we saw the leech that you grabbed. When we grabbed it, it died instantly. Then we recognize that you are having some weapons on your hands. And you know that the lion has got sharp claws. You see. Then they go again and say, lion, we are very amazed how you were built, how we were created by God. When you are not angry, you move like a lazy somebody. You see, lion will move like lazy. But when you are angry, even somebody who doesn't know, they will know that this is a creature that can kill somebody. And also, we wonder about how God created you. You are a small thing, but you kill big things. You are having small arms, but you kill big things which are bigger than you. So we believe God has created in a special way. And most of all, we have observed that there is nobody who has passed your trick without saying a word, just making a remark. Because if he's alone, when you get the trick, we will start shivering. We feel unsafe. But if there are two, they will start comforting each other. They would grab some sticks and start moving and look around. And the lion says again, because in the poem, the people that are talking about the lion, and the lion is talking back to the people. And the lion says, me, I know you human beings, you are cowards. But sometimes I always feel pity for you. I just see you passing by. If I could be as cruel as you think I'm cruel, then a lot of people could have died. Because I'm warning you people, the one who should meet me on the way is a made man like me, is a brave man like me. But if I meet a common man, a coward, then he's my supper and my lunch. And when you see me, the lion, even if they come to fight me, they come a lot of people to come and fight me. I'm not going to run to my brothers and sisters that, no, those people that are coming to fight me, come and help me. No, I will just wait them there alone. But when they are coming to me, I know each and every one of them is, when they keep quiet, even each and every one of them is asking a question, am I going to die there? Or this friend of mine is going to get injured? Or are we going to die, both of us here? No one is going to fight a lion without a question. He said that the way I am, I'm like a witch doctor, big witch doctors. In Katima, we call them squid. Those witch doctors, when you go there, if you are quarreling, this one is witching me, this one is witching me, let us go to the witch doctor to find who is witching. Because that witch doctor, if he found this is a witch, he will kill him there, while we are there, with the medicine. So I'm like that one, when they go to witch doctor. If they go there, they will say, me, I'm not a witch. This, I'm not a witch. But even when they are going there, then when they keep quiet, everybody say that witch doctor who put some medicine there in my body, maybe it's about witching. Maybe that one is going to find that thing. Okay, so that's how it is. And then it goes, and it says now the lion is talking to the people. You people who don't know me, if you find, because the cubs of the lion are very beautiful, like big puppies, good looking. Mm-hmm. That if you find my puppies or my clubs, don't stay in there and start watching. These things are very nice, huh? These babies are nice. Run for your life. Because I'm not very far, I'm very, very close. Yes. Sooner or later will be the feast for my children.
No wonder it is called,
yes.
He keeps being called the king of the jungle.
Yeah, and then lastly, it says, if you tell the people that you always hunt about, or hunt me, and you don't find me, you are lying. Because if you're hunting me, definitely you'll find me. But if you tell me that I'm hunting the lion, but I don't find, no, you're lying. Because if you find me, no one, you will never tell anybody that you find me. But people will know that this one met the lion today. Because you have nightmares. In the olden days, if you fight the lion, yes, they take a calabash full of water. They put that calabash full of water. And then they put it to the person if they want to treat you. Then they beat that calabash.
On the head.
Yeah, and then that when it bursts, then the water comes to the now your heart settles. But they will also go to get some herbs also so that you become normal. Otherwise, you will never become normal. Okay. Every time you will be like this.
So it can be easy. Yeah. No wonder we are praising.
No, it's a long one, but it's really short. But lastly, when I say, the way that I said, mufaku nyachi, mufaku sikala, mufaku nde, mufaku mabunga. It means, let me tell you, let me divide the stories here between my friend, a buffalo, and me. These instances are different. If a person is killed by a buffalo, people will say that, okay, he is killed by his glutton, he's greedy, he wanted to eat meat. But if me, the lion, I kill somebody, people will say that disaster fall on that person. Yeah, it's a disaster. Because you were not looking for meat, but it killed you. Yes. Yeah. So that's the end of the poem.
Okay. Now, yes, obviously, also with folk tales and folklores, it has a lot of elements of teaching and lessons that go, which was also some of a few of the stories that you have shared here. Would you like to share some of those lessons and morals in the stories that you have told?
Yes. Like the first one that I said of the hyena. You see, friendship, all in all, is about trust. See, if you don't trust your friend, then you should not have a friend. See, because the thing that cements friendship is trust. So in that story of the vulture and the butler and the hyena, it could be much better if the hyena could have aired the grievances to the butler. See, the way I see it here, you nowadays are not getting food. Can you tell me how are you going to maneuver this drought season? How are you going to maneuver this COVID? Because COVID now we are getting less food. Then a friend they talk. Now the hyena, instead of saying that, they said no. If I say, then he will say that I'm pushing him because of doubt. He will tell other people that person is greedy. When there's doubt, now he is chasing me. Now he's no longer a friend. Yes. So maybe I make another argument. You see, and in that story also there's a lesson. See, there are other arguments that they can be disputed. The other arguments that are true, the other arguments that are disputed. Like a hyena. It's like somebody saying a Hilux, 4x4 Hilux, can outrun a jet, which is impossible. A Hilux, or the car itself, it winds there by the road, like it cannot just go on the gorges or whatever, on the hills. But the jet is just running straight to the point. So someone who has a clear way of doing things, and you are uncertain about your things, you cannot compare yourself to that person. Yes, because him is having a clear way of doing things. So the hyena was trying to do something that was impossible. You see. Then at the end of the story, you find that the hyena won, the friendship ended. Later now, it became sober and disgraced. You see. And also now, because of unfairness of the hyena, he said the one who is going to win, is the winner. Yes. But now, since he lost, now he unloaded his anger to the winner. And the injured is the winner, of which that was not the stipulation. The stipulation was that the winner is the winner. Yes. You see. So in life, sometimes people, you can make some agreement that, okay, we do like this. But other people, when they see that they fail on that in the competition, they will make some other things, they will try to say, no, that one he cheated or something like that. But how would they know that for sure that they failed? You see, they never win.
I think there's some of our audiences that is online that shares the same sentiments, where Meti Mwala is now saying, wonderful lesson to learn from a story indeed. There's also a comment here from Yufa Godwin that is saying as that this reminds me of those days when we were still young in the evening around the fire. So she's thanking you so much and encouraging that the new generation should really help this. I will try my best in either Silozi or Subiya with the next comment.
Yes.
But it is from Francis Jampokunga, and he's saying, Mane makande yabo Francis Mwinga. Muno yezanga every month. Please let me know where I can help, because we need to get back to our roots.
Yes.
And of course, Webster, I'm not too certain if I get the translation, but I suppose you get it.
No, you're reading nice,
yes.
Silozi.
Okay. And then Webster Mazila is saying that it is a nice watch. It is also very interesting to note that there were audiences that didn't necessarily understand, but might have been captivated to stay tuned with us. So we thank you, Ndamona Manoka Yambo, who is saying that too bad, I don't understand. We hope that we did a little justice by Mr. Mwinga explaining a bit into the essence of storytelling. I will give it to the audiences that are present now, and if there's anyone, I'll take maybe 2-3 people from there to give comments or questions, and before we end of the evening. There is a roaming mic, so you can just raise your hand if you'd like to ask.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you very much for this platform. It really reminds me of those days when I was young, sitting around the fire telling stories. It's unfortunate that technology has killed our culture. Now we spend a lot of time in chat rooms on social media and chatting to people that are far away from us, instead of coming together, as cousins and build a good family relationship. Yeah, so some of these stories, I haven't heard them since when I was young, and I was seated here trying to recall, but I could not recall a single story. I knew I used to tell a lot of stories when I was in primary school. So this was really good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mwinga. I think from now on, I wouldn't call people from that side Caprivians.
Yes.
I should be honest. I don't understand the language.
Yes.
But due to my interest in linguistic and cultures, I took so much motive to come here and see the night around the fire. I don't see a theater. I see myself, my parents and my siblings around the fire. It just reminds me of things that happened in the forest of Okongo, where I'm from. I want to ask first, do you belong to a certain clan? In my culture, or in my tradition, my tribe would be associated to a certain clan, which can be an animal, it can be plants, a certain thing. I'm from the hyena clan.
Yes. Yeah, in my culture, we call it Mushiku, whereby you belong to a certain animal. Yeah, I hear the Oshomo, they say, what is totem? Totem, yes. My father is a buffalo. Now in Subiya, we call Unyati. Then my mother is a monkey, call it Ushoko. Usoko. Soko. So even only that we are having less time here, I like to praise the buffalo. Because the buffalo, these praises for animals, I know, both Subiya and Silozi. So there's a praise song for a buffalo, there's a praise song for but I don't know for the monkey. Unfortunately, my mother is a Kalanga from Zimbabwe. Yes, but they make it a long time back, maybe 4 generations or 5 generations ago. So, but we still have that that culture. See, because the culture cannot die. You just give to the other generation.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, yes.
No, just as this in regard that I saw the background picture of the first story that there was hyenas, I was like, hey, this man belongs to my clan. Or okay, the second question would be, looking that the future is now transforming into digital and the world is enhancing, and more of these nights are just getting fewer and fewer. We rather spend night looking at Britain's Got Talent and stuff like that. What is it you will then do in your capacity as a storyteller that at least something like this can live on, that my kids, that the next generation will be able to sit around the fire in an industrialized world? Because it's not going to be fire again as normal. What do you suggest it, or what do you say then to all storytellers there? Because I know there are multiples of them out there, but they don't find platforms like this, like you did. What is it you would say, if we do this as a generation, we might probably, for the next 50 years, still remain with something?
Yeah, what I suggest is that the NBC, in the first place, I thank it because it sold my talent of storytelling. That's how I started going to NBC and putting some stories. In Zambezi, we are only 3 best storytellers, 1 woman plus 2 men. It's an old man who cannot see, also is a good storyteller. Then there I have observed the radio also has got more power on informing the people. There is one time, because I was a police officer, I retired last year because of ill health. But one time when I was working somewhere in Sangalamwe, maybe there are people coming from Katima. I was working there in Sangalamwe. Then the teacher said, do you know someone who always, the one who always tells us good stories? Because I always tell stories for young kids. They like it. Then they say, this is the police officer who always told. Then when I moved, the kids are moving, they are singing the song that I sing. I said, hey, come. They are going with me. So I found the radio also has got power. You should use the radio. And secondly, the Minister of Education should plan sometimes. They take us storytellers at the classes there. We give it a story, because if I give it as powerful as I can give it, then the children will be motivated to learn stories. I was not happy. What made me to go to NBC? I listened to the radio. I always listen to the radio. Then the teacher was asking the kid, "Can you give me the story?" On the radio. There are other times when they are giving stories. Then the kid said, long time ago, there was a woman and a man, and the woman cooked the food and they eat. That's the end of the story. Then I said, this is like, this kid now is, maybe the teacher said that if you are not going to give you the story, I'm going to beat you. So, see, find the kid doesn't have anything. Then I said, let me go and put some stories. But I like the people, they like my stories. The children and the old people, they like my stories. Yes. So that's how it is. The Minister of Education also must do something.
There was a hand there. Yes, okay. We'll take 2 more from the gentleman in the orange and the lady in the green. And yes, you were there before, yes.
Good evening, Mr. Mwinga.
Yes. Good evening also.
My name is Matengumbala. Okay. My grandfather used to write Silozi books. I'm pretty sure you know him.
He's my uncle also.
Yes. So first and foremost, I would just like to extend my thanks to you, because you really took me back to the stage where I was still young.
Thank you very much.
Yes. And to my brother on the right side, I'm so grateful that he got to ask that question. Because there was a time me and my best friend, we were talking and we were thinking of how to preserve our cultural ways.
Yes.
So it's a very good thing that in such a time like this, when our languages and cultures are dying, you are still pursuing your talent. I really appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
So I wouldn't really love to burden you with a lot, so I would love to collaborate in any form of way to push this, to be innovative, whether to come up with initiatives where we can promote such things as this, because it's very important. Like in times like this, we need to start communicating in terms of digital ways. We can come up with ways to be innovative and so on, how we can reach out to our other fellow Africans and so forth. That's just my comment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, with your comment, also, culture has got 4 things that bind it. Culture has got 4 things that bind it. Is storytelling, 1. Storytelling is the first. Then you go to poetry. This poem that I was doing, the last one that I did for the lion. And then you go for how do you call Mila? Tabos. And then we go for discipline and Simulo Hamina. How do you call it? Where you come from? Yeah, beginning, yes. These 4 things make the culture. You cannot do with the other one and leave the other one. To know your generation, first you have to start there at your courtyard. You have to ask your father, Father, where do we come from? Like me, I told you that my mother is a Kalanga, the tribe of Mugabe. But I knew it when I grew old by asking. Me, I thought they were Subiya, my mother. They said, no, they are your great father. Well, the hunter, the Kalanga from Zimbabwe. Because Zimbabweans, if you are land people, you know, in Zimbabwe, there was a place called the ruins of Zimbabwe. It was a capital city for trade. Zimbabwe. Yes, Great Zimbabwe. So those ones now, they were the first people to own rifles. So they were coming hunting up to our place there. So those hunters, they were moving alone without women. So if I come and hunt here, I found this lady. Then I propose. I kill an elephant, then together. Then when I move again, I leave the kid, I go somewhere. Like that. You see? They were telling me that's how we come to be in this place. And your great-grandfather, he ended dying there in Zambia, but he left the kid here in Namibia. So that was very interesting. Then you must know I always hear people, they say that this how the tabos. That me, I don't want the tabos. What? Tabos are the fence of the culture. That tells you that don't overstep here. You see? It's a fence with the culture. A culture without a taboo is a dead culture. Because you do like, even animals have got culture. You will never see a pregnant dog being loved again. They leave it. That's their culture. Until they give it birth. You will never see a male elephant going on in front of the head. A male elephant must go behind. The female elephant, the great female elephant, must go on front. Then they follow. That is their culture of the. You will never find small baboons behind the troop. You will find small baboons in front. They go on their edges. These big ones following those small ones. Then the big ones behind. That is their culture. If animals have got that culture, what about us? Nowadays, you don't know whether this one is old. Everybody wants to become an adult. It's very funny.
Mr. Mwinga, I do not want to interrupt. I know that with storytelling we have the end, but I don't think we have a lot of time. So therefore, I will just take 2 more comments, and then we will have to end off. We can, of course, if there's any further engagement, we can then continue afterwards.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me? Yeah? Yeah, thank you very much for this lovely evening. I thought I was the only one who couldn't understand. So yeah, we are two. I guess could even be more. But anyway, just your physical presence and just following the stories by your way you move, and that alone to me, I used to live with many different people and didn't understand a word they say, but I did understand them. So there's other ways of communication as well, and I really enjoyed it. I just wanted to ask two things. I think they were already kind of discussed here already. This passing on of culture. So number one, the whole thing of passing it on to young people in an educational way in schools, and that thing, what's currently happening. And the second one is, do you have like, not trainees, what you call them, do you train young or aspiring storytellers like you were trained yourself? Do you look into that so that you can pass on your skills directly to one or two or more aspiring storytellers? Is that something you do?
Let's just have the comment from the gentleman before you answer, so that we can have like all of them together at the end.
Thank you, NTN. Thank you, Mr. Mwinga. My name is Mwaria Anasampati, Tawana now. I'm also a Kalanga, apparently, from my mother's side. But
What is your mtupo?
But I do not know to which clan I belong. Many of my colleagues from Ovamboland have been asking me. I was like, I don't think we have such a thing. And today, I came to learn that, yes, we also have clans among the maSubiya speaking people. So my next task will be to find out to which clan I belong to. So thank you very much. And we are also grateful, I am also grateful to eat from the leftovers from the chief's table. I'm aware that you are a praise poem singer for the current chief of the maSubiya people. Now my question is there any initiatives that are there at the moment by the maSubiya Traditional Authority to ensure that storytelling is a way of not only entertainment, but knowledge sharing, and many other elements that will contribute, for instance, to social cohesion? Are there any initiative by the maSubiya Traditional Authority to ensure that you continue perform these stories, at least to their community? I'm aware of the maSubiya Culture Festival, annual one, but I wasn't aware that you are also given the freedom to share that talent with the commoners like us. So my question, actually, I want to find out whether there are such initiatives that can benefit many people throughout the year. Thank you.
Let's just take his comment and then we'll close.
Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2. Thank you so much, Mr. Francis Mwinga.
Thank you very much also
for your presentation. I also want to thank the NTN for bringing him here. This thing that you are doing is one of the greatest things ever, because if we see how African history is distorted, it's so painful. And so this thing, addressing that aspect is very important, especially in our scholarship as Africans. Personally, I would like to encourage you, if you don't have a book, to put these stories in a book, so that, as others have highlighted out, these things can be preserved. I also want to say, or maybe ask, how are you encouraging the young people to have pride in our African heritage? Many a time we as Africans, we are not proud of our past. Our past usually is a defeated past. Most Africans don't like to talk more of their past because we only know of us being defeated and being colonized, and we don't have so much pride in us. But I believe through storytelling, we are able to tell the right and the truth about where Africans came from and what actually happened. So I would like to ask you, how are you bringing in the pride in our heritage? How can I have pride in storytelling? How are you doing that so that this thing is preserved?
Yes.
Sorry, Mr. Mwinga, before. I think the questions are very interlinked. And there's some correlation among what was said previously and what you are alluding to. Ours, as the National Theatre of Namibia, I'm very glad that there's some engagement coming through here, is to create this platform so that conversations can continue beyond just the storytelling performance. The gentleman had mentioned earlier that how do I collaborate with you, or I am rather very willing to collaborate with you to do whatever I can, which I think goes with your question and also yours as to what are the plans? How do you make sure that this knowledge is not lost? This is one of the platforms that provides opportunity for knowledge not to go lost. We are documenting this, so you can still get a hold of it on the National Theatre of Namibia Facebook page. But then the question on how do you make sure that the information is transferred. How do you, as a storyteller, I think that was the gentleman's question, as in, do you have an apprentice of whether the stories are continuing? So I think it is very, the questions is very related, that there's opportunity how to continue this conversation beyond this platform, and that there may be in the audience, as I hear, that there are people with great minds that could provide advice, leeway, or comments as to, and that is in the capacity. I don't want to cut off your question that is in direct relation to what the festival in terms of the maSubiya festival is going to do to make sure to preserve that. But I think that is a conversation that you can then, with Mr. Mwinga, continue. I'm not trying to cut it off, but I think it is a very broader and longer conversation that can be had, just to probably give you answers that would help. So I will leave it to the question, or just to give a brief summary of what is it in your capacity as a storyteller, and also with the responsibilities of being a praise singer for the chief, that you can do, or that you are doing, if there are any of this, to make sure that this that the knowledge is documented, documented, and also celebrated at the same time.
Yes. The question is between my brothers. To the one with the back and this one are the same. What I'm doing to teach the young generations, and I took it upon myself to try. I said about what I heard from the teachers were asking kids to say the story. Then I went to the NBC, started teaching this storytelling. Then I was recognized in the region. And then later, whenever they want to do some stories, they have to find me. One day, waterfront, they came with the researchers, they took my stories. And now when I retired, the Ministry of Youth and Sport, the Youth and Culture, they took me. I'm currently teaching the young generations how to prepare, how to look after those shrines. Because those are the things also that are dying away, the shrines and other things there which are we're supposed to be protected. You know, in other countries, shrines are protected. They are under UNESCO. Some they just apply to UNESCO, then they are recognized. Okay. So in our region, we don't have shrines which are recognized by the UNESCO. So currently now we are busy. When our museum is about to open in April. 22 April I open. Then I'm busy training those youngsters how to do those things of taking care of the shrines and other things which are more important in our society, in our tradition, our cultures. And the gentleman asked another question there about why should I not put the things in the books. I wrote some books long time back, 2004. Then I brought them there to Macmillan. Two I brought to Macmillan for the storybook one and for praise chanting. And the other one I took it to Out of Africa. To my surprise and to my disappointment, Macmillan, they lost the book for praise chanting. Then in 2005, 2007, when I came there, now it tried to fall up. Then I found the book was missing. There's no way, wait, nothing. Then, but the story, who wants to dig more on the story, they contact me. I can give them my contact. My number is 081.
We will share.
Okay, yeah.
Like
yeah.
for anyone that would like to.
That's the part of the book. So
yes.
I have to withdraw some of the book. Then
yes.
I heard that, the books have been disappearing like that. Then I took my books and said, they are not safe here. Then there's another question that... Okay.
No.
Oh, that one said, okay.
We are a bit pressed for time.
Yes.
But as is the case, you can contact the National Theatre of Namibia if you wish to continue conversations with Mr. Mwinga in terms of helping or assisting to keep the culture alive. Unfortunately, we'll have to end off tonight. We have another storytelling session that is going to come up in April. So if you are interested, you're more than welcome to join us again on the 8th of April, where we will have Mokgotsi. She's also a storyteller from the Setswana people. So you will then have an opportunity to once again engage and maybe like hear that. Unfortunately, we will have to cut off the live, and if there's a few moments, we'll just give Mr. Mwinga to take a bit of water, and then you can, if there are any questions, then he will just answer them. Then he can personally answer them as well. So thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for being here, and we hope to see you on the 8th again.